Piano Toolbox here. Today we're going to learn to play Hey Bulldog by the Beatles. Hey Bulldog has three sections. It has the riff, which serves as an introduction and also keeps coming back throughout the piece. Then it's got the verse and the chorus. Let's start with the riff. Here's the intro/riff. This song is in the key of B. Usually you'll say it's in the key of B major or B minor. This song, it's a little bit murky exactly if it's in B major or B minor. The tonality, the modality of it sort of switches. Let's just suffice it to say it sticks around B. So how do we find a B? Well, it's right here. Or you could just say, I'm going to look at these groups of black notes and they provide a sort of pattern or a map for my eye to figure out where the correct white note is. So we have 2 black notes here and then 3. And then it keeps going up the keyboard like that, or down the keyboard if you go the other way. Here's 2, and then 3, 2, and 3. So when you go to the 2 black notes, the note right to the left of the most left black note is a C. And if you go to the note that's right next to that to the left, in other words, backwards in the alphabet, from C down to B. So that is the first note of the song, and we play it twice. The next note of the song is we're going to skip this C. We're going to go to this one right here, D, which is also in between these 2 black notes, just a way to visually remember it. And you have, so now we have B, B, D, B, E. So then we're back to B. So you keep on going back to B, which I'm playing with my thumb. And I'm playing the D with my second finger and the E with my third finger. Now up with my fourth finger on this note F. And notice my second, third, and fourth finger play D, E, and F. Then with my pinky, I'm going to play this F sharp. So I actually went on these 4 fingers. Now go backwards. So going backwards, we go B, B, D, B, F sharp, B, F, B, D, E, D. So again, the notes we're using in this pattern with the right hand are B, D, E, F, F sharp. Here's what it sounds like. So now we're going to play the exact same thing with the left hand. Okay, so we're going to play the same exact pattern, but with our left hand. So the B that we play twice at the beginning, and every time we play the B is going to be played with our 5th finger, our pinky. And the way I like to do it is I like to go to my 3rd finger. I kind of skip my 4th finger here, and so I go. So I use my 3rd finger on the D, my 2nd finger on the E, and I just feel like it's easier once I have to do this F up to F sharp is to use my thumb and then my 2nd finger back down to my thumb like this. It just feels more comfortable to me. But of course, if you find a different way to play it, the most important part is that you play it correctly. So far we have the main riff and the introduction. Here's the first part of the verse. So we have 2 chords that go back and forth. We have a B7 chord that goes to an F sharp minor 7, and then that just repeats. Once again, here's our C, here's our B. We're gonna make a B major triad, which we are gonna have a D sharp, an F sharp, and a normal B7 would put an A here on top, but we're instead, John Lennon in his brilliance decides to take this A and move it down to this A. So instead of this, we have this. It sounds pretty similar, but you're not hearing that A right on the top. You're hearing this one on the top. So that is the B7 chord. And in our left hand, we're playing a B in the same rhythm that we're playing these eighth notes of B7. And now the left hand is going to kind of walk down to this F sharp. Let me show you what I mean. It's going to go B, A, G sharp, F sharp. So it plays the B a bunch of times and just plays the A once, G sharp once. It's just moving down there. It's a type of a walking bass line, but it's walking downward. So then the next chord we play is obviously we're hearing the F sharp. So you're done for this section on the left hand. For the right hand, what's going to happen is this A right here in the B chord, the B7 chord, is going to stay exactly the same. This F sharp on the top of the chord is going to stay exactly the same. So, in other words, and now for the F sharp minor chord, we're going to play those again. But instead of playing these two notes are going to move up to here. So, we have this B moves up to the C sharp. This D sharp moves up to the E. And notice this one and that one are staying the same. Really, really great way to get used to this is to just do that and practice it before you try to incorporate it into the song. It's a pretty tricky chord change to get at first, but then it becomes extremely easy. So I would practice it like this and just keep going back and forth. All right, and then we have and again. So now we have the introduction, we have that part, we have the beginning of the verse, part 2 of the verse. So it starts the same way and then it just ends on a different chord. The first chord is an inversion of an A major chord. So to find that, here's our C. Here's our B where we started before, and one note down is A. So we're going to take this A, and we're going to go up an octave to the next A, and then we're going to play the other two notes of the chord, which is the C sharp and the E. We're not going to play this one, and we're just going to play this A up on top. Then we're going to play an F sharp minor 7 again, but we're going to play it a little differently than we played it the last time. Instead of down here, we're going to play this A again. The idea is to keep some of the notes that are called common tones between the chords. So you have this is actually super easy the way they did this, because you have your A chord and now you're just going to add that F sharp there. I add it with my third finger. So I have my first finger, second, fifth, pinky, and then so this part is, okay? And then we're going to take all of these, shift them down to an E7 chord. So that's right after the F sharp minor 7 chord. The E7 is going to be this B, D, E, G sharp. Now we repeat the first part, A, F sharp minor 7, but then we're going to go to a B7, and you're going to keep these two notes that were in your F sharp minor 7. You're going to play these again and just move these two. And then these are going to go down to there. So the C sharp goes down to a B, E goes down to a D sharp, and you have B, D sharp, and again these same from last chord, F sharp, A. So the second part of this last part of the verse goes. And so here's the whole verse. Great, so now it's time for the last part of the song. Here's what we have so far. We have the introduction / riff. We have the verse. And that two parts of the verse that we learned. Now we're on to the third part, which I'll call the chorus, It's kind of a weird kind of a chorus, but it's the you can talk to me, that part. So now instead of starting with a B7 chord, a B dominant 7, we're going to go to a B minor chord. And as any Beatles fan knows, our particular favorite little trick of the Beatles is switching between major and minor keys during the song. So instead of playing a B major, we're going to keep this note, the B, and the 5th over here, the F sharp. We're going to take this D sharp and make it a D. So B, D, F sharp. And now this note is just going to go, these two notes are going to stay the same, and this F sharp is going to go kind of like the James Bond music. So it's like F sharp, G, G sharp, G. And then we are going to go switch to an E minor chord in an inversion that looks like this. So here's your E. Here's a normal E minor chord. It would be E, G, B. We're not going to play the B up there. We're going to play it here. So it's going to be B, E, G. And now we're going to do the same thing with that melody that changes. These two notes are going to stay the same this time, and this note's going to change. So now what we have so far is, you can talk to me, you can talk to me, you can talk to me, if you're lonely you can talk to me. And that is Hey Bulldog. All right. Thanks for joining us today. And please come and see us again over at Dave's Piano Toolbox. Peace out.